up, YouTubers? Well, I'm down one Ferrari. Back to my open spot in the garage. The Ferrari left this morning with its new owner. Super happy for them, but kind of bummed to see that car go because it was a really cool car. I had a lot of fun with that. But I need this space because today's moving day and it's time to bring the dip tank from the shed in the backyard all the way around into the garage. It's kind of big, it's kind of heavy. It's just me. So I have to figure out a way to do that. But I will get the tank in here, we'll start getting some shelving set up and maybe even put the shelf together that's going to eventually be the paint booth section. Maybe I can get started on that, I don't know. We'll just play it by ear. We'll see what the day brings us. But first things first, that tank is gonna be the biggest obstacle. It's been sitting in the back of my shed, way back in the corner for many years now. So I gotta dig it out. And once I dig it out, then I gotta figure out how am I gonna get it around here? Because it doesn't have wheels or anything, so, ooh. Yeah, I got an idea. This is what I came up with. So, obviously that's the dip tank. That is my jet ski cart, my little beach cart. It's almost like it was made to go that way. I imagine the question that's on everyone's mind is, how did I, by myself, get this super heavy tank up onto this cart all alone? The answer to that is, I'm a big strong man. Also, I'm stubborn and didn't want to ask for anybody's help, so I just figured it out. This is kind of the heart and soul of hydro printing. This is my dip tank. Basically, this whole thing fills with water. It's kind of weird, like you only use maybe this much from here to there, so how much to waste? You got like a couple overflow things, and then you put filters and stuff over here. It's a process, but it's a super cool process, so I'm really excited to show you once I get all this stuff squared away. This poor thing has been living in my shed for like 10 years now. I imagine when I plug this in for the first time and kind of fire this up that there'll be some gremlins to work through. Hopefully that pump has held up over the years. I don't know, may have to replace that. It definitely needs to be cleaned. And I have some super clean product that I could use to clean this with. I'm gonna make my paint booth out of a metal shelf. I had a small paint booth that I had built before out of plywood. It was just, I mean, just plywood sides, back, little table to paint stuff on, and it worked. But after having this shelf up in my garage for so long, this will be more stable, you know, as time goes on. I'm going to assemble the shelf. The cool thing about making it from this shelving system is it's adjustable, so I can kind of get it perfect right where I want it before I put all of the plywood around it. Like I said, I hope it's more stable. I don't know. We'll find out together. So I'm going to put this together to start with and then start taking some measurements. Car! Woohoo! Hopefully car parts. I always get excited when the UPS guy shows up, or FedEx. Oh, yes. Oh, sweet, car parts. Game on! I put this a little bit lower because once I put it up on my caster, it's actually gonna come up about 5 inches. My shelf that I'm actually gonna lay stuff on to paint will be right about yay tall, somewhere in there. Then that gives me plenty of room to work with inside here. Now, the dip tank isn't gonna do huge parts. So this is actually going to be the perfect size. This will all be skinned. And then what I'll do is cut a section out that I can slip a filter in, and I'll have a fan mounted behind it that will, in theory, suck the fumes out. That's what I did with my old one, and it worked really well. I had it in the garage, and I just kind of turned it and faced it outside and plugged it in. And then I'm able to change that filter out whenever I need to. I'm thinking down here, have a shelf right there, and then I'll probably have one more shelf on the bottom. So that's my thought process right now. I hope that it works out. Put a couple 2x4s, some plywood, and let's see how this thing comes together. These are actually shelves. They're supposed to be like this, but they're kind of flimsy, and when you put a lot of weight on them, they start to bow, and they're just, you know, as shelves, they're just not that great. So, unless you double them up, which is what I'm going to do over here. So I don't mind chopping them. Actually, it worked out perfect because it fits right where I need it to fit. Now, I'm contemplating whether I take a couple of these and basically do the same thing back here, because the center of it's going to be cut out anyway. I don't mind having that seam. That can be sealed and kept together. But that would save me from having to go buy a sheet of plywood just for that. So I'm probably going to end up doing that. So I have one more set of casters, and those are going to be for like a rolling kind of table that my rinse tank is going to sit on top of. So everything is going to be kind of mobile. I can move stuff and shuffle stuff depending on what I'm doing for that day. You'll see that in a future video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it'll make sense later on. So as promised in the last video, we are going to do a giveaway to you, the viewers. Super Clean is going to send one lucky person a couple of items, their Super Clean spray and the aerosol can. They're going to send you one of each. Only stipulations really are you have to have a U.S. mailing address in the lower 48 states. Other than that, to be entered to win, you have to be a subscriber to this channel and on Instagram at Mr. Nobody's Garage. And then when I post a picture on Instagram of this contraption with the product sitting inside, all you have to do is just comment on that post, Super Clean. That's all you have to say. Nothing else. I mean, you can say more if you want, but as long as Super Clean is in there next to your name, you are entered. I'll put those names in a hat, select somebody, and that person wins some super cool product from Super Clean. Well, it's built and somewhat finished, but I decided I'm gonna go ahead and start tricking it out a little bit better. So I gotta get to cutting the plywood and basically change everything that I've just done. This little button right here, and haha, there we go. That is my DIY paint booth, and it's made with started basically with this metal shelf system that I got at one of the hardware stores. I think it was either Lowe's or Home Depot, and it comes with 4 shelves. Initially I had 2 pieces back here, but I didn't like the seam, so I decided to go with just a thicker piece of plywood and cut it to an exact size and like shoved it in there so it's nice and tight. What I'll probably end up doing, and I don't have to, it's more me just geeking out, is coming back and like caulking all the seams in here. It's my own OCD. Do I need it? No, but I want to do it. I bought 2 of these little 3-foot LED lights at Lowe's. These were, I don't know, like 16 bucks a piece, and I can turn them on and off here, but what I did was just kind of wrap the cords and tucked it and ran the cords over to this little doodad. So I've got my fan plugged in, I've got my 2 lights plugged in, and then I just run an extension cord to wherever I need to be to this, and there we go. There's my 20 by 20 by 1 inch filter, and I just used a piece of, I think it's like 1 by, so there's nothing really holding this in other than I just made it so it's kind of tight and it squeezes the filter in place, and that's it. You know, just made it super simple. Here's my fan, just a 20-inch box fan. I cut the hole out to pretty much the size and just used the rest of that 1 by as kind of a little frame just to tuck it in, and that's it. Just a little bungee holds it on, turn it on whatever speed I need, and it will suck all the fumes through the filter to the outside. The nice part is I've got 2 foot by 4 foot of space, these shelves, so I'll probably put my hydro printing film, they're in rolls and stuff, so I'll probably just lay those out on these shelves. That'll be a great spot for them because they're kind of awkward. And then I've got my locking casters on all 4 corners, and I bought good casters, not cheapy ones. It is going to fit my needs really, really well. This is so much better than the very first one that I ever built, the first version. It's got some stability to it, it's got some strength to it, and it's very easy to maneuver and roll around my garage, which is exactly what I needed. So that's it. Super easy kind of DIY home paint booth. If you're not painting super huge parts, then you know, this is, I don't know, probably 6 foot tall by 24 inches deep by 48 inches wide. And if you got small projects, this might be something that would work perfect for you. If there's anything I missed when I was explaining what I was doing and showed you how it came out, feel free to comment down below, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Send me an email, mrnobodiesgarage@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Stay hungry, stay foolish.